It's 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today.
And it sounds like it's right from a sci-fi movie, but people all over the world are implanting these into their wrists.
We're so attracted to our devices that they're basically becoming a part of our bodies. But what if they really could become a part of our bodies? Well, guess what? They can. Meet the RFID microchip.
In the quiet town of Mount Vernon, Washington, Emil Grafstra has capabilities unlike anyone around. To access his storage facility, all he has to do is raise his hand. To get into his car, again, put out his hand. Grafstra has 4 radio frequency identification tags in his hand and arm.
Many people thought that I was like working for the government with tracking devices or something. A lot of people were just upset about humans being treated like cattle. Back then, it was death threat, death threat. Ooh, that's interesting. Death threat, death threat. Now it's more like, ooh, that's kind of cool. What can it do? What can I do with it? And how much does it cost?
A doctor inserted Grafstra's first tag 10 years ago, and since then he's inserted implants into more than 700 people. He also partners with more than 100 body piercers nationwide, who have implanted thousands more. Grafstra's company, Dangerous Things, sells $40 do-it-yourself kits, which include the tag, syringe, and non-toxic materials.
The only problems that we've ever had is when somebody did it themselves and they put it in completely wrong. I mean, that's why we partner with piercers and people who are professionals. Yeah, this guy just like rammed it straight into the muscle, and that was a bad thing. But as far as like breaking or anything like that, anyone that places it correctly, which is almost everybody, except for a few exceptions, and do a good job of keeping it clean during the procedure, then there's no risk of infection.
And Emil isn't done with his products either. In fact, he's already installed his latest prototype. It's right here. You can see it. It's 5 times the length of the other devices, and it's called Yuki, which stands for You Are the Key. Yuki utilizes near-field communication to allow for one-time password generation, transferring contacts, Bitcoin payments, and downloading apps. Because the implants rely on power from the devices they communicate with, Grafstra is working on a non-toxic, flexible battery, even having gone so far as to insert a small solar panel into his arm temporarily for testing. It's all part of a movement known as biohacking.
It goes into the body and you forget about it. And it just does its job. It's like your kidneys are working right now really hard, but you don't think about them. They become so much a part of you that you consider yourself to be a new kind of augmented person.
Put this online.
Grafstra says he's had customers as young as 14 and as old as 65, and even installed one in his wife, which the couple affectionately calls an engagement chip.
Similar to the tech used to track your pets or your phone. Once implanted in your body, it could identify you as you pass through the airport, open the door to your home. It could even be used to buy groceries at the supermarket.
Well, a grocery store with no checkout lines. Now that sounds good. Amazon is making it a reality. The dot-com giant unveiled a new brick-and-mortar store where it sells grocery essentials and pre-made meals. Customers check in at the entrance of the store using the Amazon Go app. Shoppers grab whatever they want and just leave. Amazon says it tracks purchases using computer vision and advanced sensor technology.
I can't believe you just paid with this hand. Like, you just literally put your hand up and you're good to go. Like, that's crazy.
Identification in a digital world is crucial. From voting to healthcare to online biometrics, ensure the security of those transactions and ensure a fast, frictionless customer experience as well.
How did biometrics come about?
It really wasn't called biometrics, it was called fingerprinting, understanding that your fingerprints were a unique identifier to ensure that you were you. There's iris image, face, voice. Some people are working on gait biometrics in terms of how you walk.
Thank you. You have been identified.
Innovations about bringing people what they didn't know they want. Aviation and travel where there's all these bottlenecks and lines. Sports stadiums where you're seeing the same thing. Healthcare where somebody wants to know that you are you and all the things associated with your healthcare. When you're taking out a credit card and payment. Longer term, voting, it's all places where somebody wants to ensure your identity in the next 5 to 10 years. We will look back on pictures of all of us carrying around driver's license and credit cards and keys and question why we did that, sort of like my kids now question the rotary phone.
More now of our special coverage here tonight, life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique, our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes.